Welcome to Fit Strong Women Over 50, episode 24. Hi, I'm Jill. Welcome back to Becoming Ellie's podcast. This is the place where women over 50 inspire each other to become fit and strong.
Hi, I'm Chris. You might be wondering about Ellie, but she's the one that beat Thor in a wrestling match. She's the Norse goddess of aging, and Jill and I want to be like her, fit and strong.
Yes, we do. Hey, feel free to join us in that effort to be fit and strong at our community of women. You can find us on Facebook in the Becoming Ellie Facebook group. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast.
You know, we'd like to hear from you because this is a community, and now we have a way to do that. We want to feature your thoughts on our podcast. So you call our number. It's 330-970-6662, and let us know what you did in 2018 to become fit and strong. And while you're at it, tell us what you're working on or planning to work on for 2019. We're going to include some of these in our podcast in the coming year. That number is 330-970-6662. You
can find the number on the website too, so if you didn't manage to get it, don't worry about it.
Right.
So because this is the last episode of 2018, and we just want to point out that it's been 1 year of podcasting. We're excited about that. We thought that we would check in with a couple of the women we talked with earlier in the year. So today, Chris and I are talking with Diane Berkley, who was our speaker in episode 7. And we're also talking with Juel Fitzgerald, who was in episode number 8. And they're going to let us know what they've been up to since then and what they have planned for 2019.
Yeah, it's really exciting to hear. I got all motivated and energized and invigorated just listening to them.
They're both very fit and strong.
Yeah, they are.
And very motivating for sure. They are inspirational.
Yeah. So let's go to the podcast.
Hi, Diane.
So what have you been up to since we talked to you?
Oh, my gosh. You know, I went through a bout of, and this is, where I didn't realize my thyroid had gotten really, really bad.
Ooh.
And, I had thyroid issues, always have. But I thought I was just tired because of working all the time. But it was worse than that. And and then I started getting this really weird scaly under my eye. Anyway, I went finally she said, go get blood work, and it was really bad. So what was happening with my workouts was, I would do cardio and my heart would start, racing because I was so fatigued that it was over. And so when I finally found that out, Mike adjusted and said, we're not going to do any. So I didn't do any like cardio, but I kept going. Mm-hmm. I kept working out.
So what did you do for a workout when you didn't do cardio?
It was just like more weight training. There, he tried to keep the cardio part, down because there was one time where I was on the assault bike and I literally thought I said I can't do it. And it was bad. So a couple weeks on the medicine, I was getting, you can just tell. But then I had to work back up to where I was because,
It's amazing how quickly you lose.
And so then I'm doing, after this thing that we did, what was it, the UFC? I was really frustrated with myself. So I did some research and I even talked to Mike about it. And so with my running, I think I shared that with you, how there was a different type of pattern I needed to go to. And that was go 3/4 of the mile at a pretty good, your normal running pace. And then maybe the last quarter or, 4th mile, you rev it up. And then, then you bring it back down for your next mile. Then you try to build up to where you're 50, half a mile, then you're doing, and half a mile you're doing, so that's really been really helping. get that part of me back to, getting where I need to be. So that's pretty, I'm liking doing that, so yeah. So
Okay.
we're doing longer stretches now with keeping it up the higher part.
Good. So how far do you go fast now?
Right now there was one day I was really motivated and I did half the mile, and I felt okay.
All
I
right.
didn't feel like but I have to have a good day where I'm not in one of my days where it's my long day.
Mm-hmm.
I have those 2 long days to where I'm not tired. So you have to feel, like,
You have to have some energy to do it.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Right. You can't be, which makes sense. If you work a long day and you're going to do some exercise, it should probably be something less intense.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's great.
I know.
So the medicine is working. Your thyroid is better.
It's back to where it should be now. Yay.
Good.
Yeah, you don't realize when something's out of whack, you just can't force yourself. You shouldn't force yourself.
No. But I just didn't want to quit. I just didn't want to stop doing nothing.
Right.
And so Mike was there, he worked with me, so.
Good.
Yeah, that was a rough time.
Yeah.
But.
Well, it's real discouraging when you're not feeling yourself.
And you want to do.
And you want to do stuff. You want to stay in shape. Mm-hmm. You want to keep doing your workouts.
Yes.
And push. And you can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
especially that cardio it was rough. It was rough. I'm like, what's wrong with me? That's how I felt. What's wrong with me? What did I, I felt like, okay, I've just gotten older. I can't do this no more. So all those thoughts were going through my head, but it was more of a physical. It was a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you went to the doctor.
Well, blood work is important. I know myself, I end up having twice a year doing blood work because you just have to. Otherwise, you don't know if it's just, what's going on.
And during that time too, she says, well, we might as well do all your blood work. So she did the whole, and everything was, I was really excited how everything else was, So she gave me an A+ on all that, but it was just the thyroid was off.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Oh. I figured out, you remember when we did the UFC, the fitness challenge, and I was having a problem with my arm and so I figured out what it was. The day before I had been to the doctor, speaking of going to the doctor, and she gave me a shingles vaccine. They have this new vaccine that you get, if you're 50 or older, you get it. And she never said a word about, but the next day I couldn't lift my arm over my head. Well, one of the side effects I read later was muscle fatigue, and to not do it if you've got something like, don't do this if you've signed up to do a ultimate fitness challenge.
Oh my gosh!
So that was it.
Wow.
I'm sure, because I had been working out, I'm sure my muscle was sore, but it was not. I had not done so much that I couldn't raise my arm over my head.
Oh my!
So that's what it was. So that's the downside to going to the doctor.
Well, but to not get shingles again, that's
I know, but the timing was all that.
The timing, if you had known, you wouldn't have taken
I wouldn't have done it that day. Yeah.
Well, the Ultimate Fitness Challenge is quite the thing. I mean,
it was, and it was so different this year. The
fall one was very different.
It was a lot of cardio. It was, and not only that, it was more of a fatiguing of your. I don't know how to explain it. We were just.
So it wasn't the same exercises as the year before?
No, it was a totally different
They revamped it and they redid the whole format. It was hard.
It was
a lot more cardio?
There was,
I don't know if it was cardio so much.
Just, you use the same muscles a lot of times doing some of them together. Like the first round, we were doing push-ups, we were doing the rows, and you're trying to do as many as you can.
You couldn't recover. Your arms couldn't recover. They didn't do arms, then legs, then arms, then legs.
No, and then there was like the cardio in between, like you did a salt bike.
Right.
There was a rower, so it was just really, I think
You flipped tires again?
No, we were inside doing this one.
Yeah, no tires.
Yeah, we were outside usually, but this one was inside.
And then clean and press?
Yeah, we did the thrusters. Wasn't there?
Yeah, there was thrusters.
Yeah.
There was a lot of squatting. I will say that.
Yeah. There was a lot of,
because there was where you throw the ball up, you have to sort of squat and then come up a wall ball.
Yes, we did that.
Yeah.
So the combination of how they did it was a lot different and it
very
was a lot
fatiguing.
harder. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So when something like happens to me like that, I'm like, okay, what can I do now to get to, where I need to be to handle something like that?
Yeah.
That's how I think.
So what are your plans for this coming year?
Well, I'm still trying to get in the water.
Well, I know you saying you bought a bathing suit.
I do. I got that far. I bought a bathing suit.
That's step one.
So, Maria's, every time I see her, when are we getting in the water? And I'm hoping that I'm actually taking some vacation time during the holidays.
Okay.
Because my grandson will be coming in. And so I'm hoping that maybe at a low key where I can just go in with her and do that may be a good time to do that, so yeah. But other than that, I'm just focusing still on my strength. I've improved, I really feel, from last year, strength-wise, into where I'm at now.
Great.
And
do you have any strength goals? I mean, do you track what you deadlift or what you lift, and do you try and...
I don't personally, but I know Mike does kind of keep track for that,
like the number of reps or the amount of weight?
The amount of weight.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
and Mike's your trainer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay, so you don't set a goal of I want to deadlift 350 pounds.
There's different types of when you're deadlifting, and you either go all the way down to the floor,
right?
But what he was doing with me, he has this where you in a level thing, and the bar will sit on that, and so you're not reaching all the way down to the floor, but you're coming up with that. I think the heaviest I did on that was 203.
Okay.
So he's working me up.
Now, listeners, you aren't able to see Diane, but she is very, very petite, a tiny thing. So when you said 203 pounds, I am really impressed.
So
what did you start out lifting?
Well, like I said, there's different types of, I don't know. He just is always like, okay, well, let's just go for this, So
you follow what he says to do and just go for it.
And he always says, now, if something's bothering you, your back, you let me know, that kind of thing. Now,
you're meeting with him now 3 times a week?
3 times a week, yeah. And it always helps me to do the opposite grip on the bar.
Right, yeah.
And one goes under, one goes, one hand goes over.
One hand over, one hand under.
I don't know why that helps, but it does.
It does because the hands might, it just feels so much better when you do that.
Right.
Yeah. So, but we have done a little bit of different also, since we did the UFC, we do like kind of, the weight training the 2 days. And then the third day is more of trying to get, the cardio in type, for your muscles, and even just quote cardio, like he'll put me, like he was talking about next week. Okay, well, we're going to do the short term, like the rower, the salt bike. He wants to see where I'm at as far as my, cardio then. So
do a measurement.
Yeah. So where I'm at. But, and then also too, he does in the new year wants me to take measurements and see, because, I haven't put on weight, but it looks like my thighs are a little bit bigger than what they used to be muscle,
I think they're muscle.
Yeah. So he wants to, do that and to see where I'm at. So that's going to be a good thing too for me to see,
Well, don't say, hey, my thighs are too big.
Well, but then, like I said, I went to the doctor and I had actually gone down 2 pounds from from where I was.
Okay.
But yet, I seem to be, more muscular I guess we'll say muscular on my thighs.
Right.
Yeah.
Your body fat. Do you measure body fat?
Yeah,
too?
he did the last time, but so that's what he wants to do again this time.
Right.
To make sure that I, keep that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, that's so
So
important.
he keeps up on it.
Well, the body fat is really more important than your weight.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
if whatever your percentage of body fat is, the rest of it is muscle and
Yes,
bone
that's right.
and whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the lean body weight
Mm-hmm.
is the important. So that's the important
Right,
thing.
right.
You
Yes.
can weigh the same amount, and
if you lose muscle, you've kind of defeated the whole purpose.
Exactly. So, it's, but that still also comes down to eating the right way too. So, because, you've got to be able to.
Have you made any changes in your eating, or you're pretty much sticking with
I
what
pretty
you were
much
doing?
stick with the same thing. I mean,
Good.
it's pretty much like you say, it's a lifestyle. It's
Yes.
just what I do.
Perfect.
It's just what I do, so, yeah.
good. All right.
Sounds like you're going to have a great 2019.
I just am
So,
looking forward
are you
to
going to do? So, are you running still?
Oh, yeah.
So, are you going to do a race this year?
If I can get someone to go with me, I will do that.
I need a friend.
I just don't do it because I don't have anybody to run it.
And what length race are you thinking?
I don't know. I have never done a race. Never.
Well, there are plenty of races.
Oh, I
We
know.
can do it. We'll do a 5K with you,
Sure.
or you could train for a half marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm not going to train for a marathon.
one that I do as part of my training every year
Uh-huh.
is the Fish Creek. There's a raccoon run.
I've heard of. I saw the signs.
It
before,
benefits the elementary school.
Okay.
It's a 5K,
Mhm.
and of course she'd win the category.
Yeah.
Well, she probably would. There's also another one, that Hop for Hope, that I've done in the
Oh,
spring.
that's right. You've done
It's
that one.
that is a 5K,
That's in
5 or
April.
10K,
Okay.
and that's early.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to do a shorter run race just to experience a race.
Because I've never ever done one.
Yeah.
I just never
And
have.
when the first time I ever did a 5K, I just went and signed up and went by myself.
Did
but,
you?
Yeah, and I don't know why I did that, but I did. Because I wanted to run one.
I know.
And I didn't know anyone who ran at the time.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun to run with other people, or to be at the race with other people. Now,
Right.
I'm usually the slowest one of the pack, so I don't run with people, but I'm at the race with the people.
Yeah.
And they wait for me to.
So you see a race you want to do, let us
Okay.
know, and
I
we'll run
will.
it with you.
I will.
And
Yeah, they have that frosty thing coming up. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
do,
Frosty
I don't-
5.
Yeah, I don't do the.
And there's the prediction
elements.
run. That's New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Yeah.
oh, right,
Stowe
there's
High
also
School.
yes, right.
Mhm.
The Stowe High School has.
There seems to be always a race or something that you can even around in the area.
So there's
Yeah,
always a
there's
5K.
always-
If
yeah.
you want to run a 5K, which is
Yep.
a fun race, there's
Uh-huh.
always one.
Yes.
You can go on active.com.
Mm-hmm.
You put in your zip code or your city, and there's just races.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can find them there. And then there's a lot of other websites, but
Right.
if you were looking for one, like, sometimes when Jill's traveling, she'll run a race when she's down there in South Carolina.
Right, that's how I
Yes.
found the York. I ran one in York, and I ran that North Carolina one last summer. That was so hot.
Yes, I remember you
Super
saying
hot.
that.
It was
Yeah.
dangerously hot.
But you have a whole different memory of your vacation
Yes.
when you do some sort
It's like,
of race.
oh, remember on vacation when I almost died from heat exhaustion?
Maybe not,
Oh my God. That's great.
Well, thanks so much for sharing your plans for 2019.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I don't know what. I just love pushing forward.
Yes.
I'm going to be 62 next year, so let's.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just great.
That's
It is great.
Yeah, it's great to feel fit.
Yeah, and strong, and just.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is. So. Yeah, it's going to be a good year.
All right. Well,
Thanks so much.
thank you, Diane,
Thanks.
for joining us today.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Diane, for sharing your 2018 events with us. And I hope that 2019 is a good year for you. Now we're going to talk to Juel Fitzgerald about what she's been doing since we talked to her last and what she has planned for next year.
Yes, hello.
Hey, Juel.
Hello. Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, you're looking good on Facebook, I'll tell you that.
Thanks.
We all know that Facebook isn't necessarily the ultimate truth of life, but you do look like you're having a good time.
Right. Well, I am having a good time, so that is true.
Okay, good.
Anyways, how you guys been doing?
Good.
I'll tell you, I'm still adjusting to the snow and cold. I haven't quite bought into the change of season yet.
Yeah, earlier than planned.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I know it's December.
But still.
Yeah.
It started in November.
I know. We went from like a very warm fall to all of a sudden just very cold. There was not much transition there.
Nope.
It's time to get back into the gym because there's no sunlight after work anymore. Nothing.
No, right. I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indoor stuff. So, yep.
Yeah. Or be like you and fly to Las Vegas.
Right. Yeah. Just for one trip.
Yeah.
And it was cold there. But it was cold there, so.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
And you went with some friends too, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a bucket list race for me because I've been wanting to do that for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 years and thinking I was going to be going alone. And then in the meantime, I got a bunch of friends and they're all with me. So that made it all the better. So it was
how
good.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So what was the name of was it a half marathon?
Yeah, it was a half marathon in Las Vegas Rock and Roll Hall of Fame series. The Rock and Roll one, not the Hall of Fame. Rock and Roll series, yeah.
Excellent.
So those rock and roll races really seem to be very popular. They have a very good reputation.
Yeah, they are. They're very big. So they're huge. So I've done Phoenix already, DC. I think there's another one in there, I forget. And then I'm going to do Seattle next year.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what makes it special about a destination race? What I have never done one. I guess that's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay. It's just the fun of being in that destination, depending on where that is, what time of year it is. So, right, it's all about the destination. The Vegas one, reason why I was on my bucket list was because they shut down the strip and you get to do the race on the strip in the street at nighttime.
Are you serious?
And that's the only race. That's the only time that Vegas shuts the street down for that race.
Wow.
Boy, that sounds fun.
Exactly. So you can say, I walked the strip, literally.
Wow. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for doing that one. So it's always something about that destination that I want to do it for, a scenery or something like that or whatever. Phoenix, I did that because it was cold here in Cleveland because it was in January. So it was nice being out there and it was hot. Yeah.
So when we talked to you last, you had just finished your death march.
Yeah, the Bataan Death March, right? Bataan.
Bataan, yes.
Exactly.
So, all right. So since that time, you obviously flew out to Las Vegas and did the rock and roll half marathon.
Right.
What else have you been up to?
Just other smaller races. Either the Rite Aid, but that's my annual one. The Rite Aid.
We saw you at that one. Jill and I saw you.
Exactly.
On Abbey Road there. Yeah, that was fun.
That was a short race anyway. It wasn't a half. So
you did the 10? The 10K?
I'm trying to remember now. Everything's going to be a blur. So I did a challenge. So it was a 10 and something else. It might have been a 5.
Oh, okay.
It was a 2-day one. Right.
I thought you did the half.
No. I did the short one. Because my objective for doing the Rite Aid was at that time I was doing the last 2 races that I needed to get all the medals that the Rite Aid has ever offered. So I didn't need to do the half since I already did the half a couple times. So I only needed to do, for some reason, I want to think it was the 8K and the 10.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they had a 10K on the marathon day.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Right. Well, I think you might have done the 8K
Which one
the
were
day
you
before.
guys doing that I saw you? What did you guys do that I saw you in then?
We did the half.
So now I'm trying to remember.
I think they did use the same route for part of it.
Part of it, right.
Yeah, it probably split off,
Yeah.
Okay.
So either it was a half or the 10. I don't remember because I know one of them was a duplicate, and I needed the 8, which I hadn't done. So I can't remember who I was duplicating. So maybe I did a half, but I don't know. I'm thinking it was I don't think the 8 and the 10 go together. So that's why I'm like, that don't even sound right. So maybe I did the half, because if I did the 8
did the half.
so maybe it was a half.
Well, it doesn't really matter, but at any rate.
Yeah, whatever. I got all the medals for that one, for the Rite Aid. So now I don't need to do the Rite Aid anymore, because I have all the medals from 5 all the way to a full. So I'm good.
All right. Have you done the Akron? Yes, you did the Akron. I ran into
I
you
did
at
the
that.
series. I did that twice.
Couple
I
years.
did the Akron series twice. And then the relay last year. So I did there 3 times. Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So now I have all there too. So I don't need to do it anymore either.
Okay. So anything else that you've done for the rest of the year besides the races? Anything new or anything you want to share with us?
I did I'm part of a group called Girl Trek, and they have different challenges. So they're not actually races, even though races might come in, where the objective is to do a minimum of 5 walks out of 7 in a week. All the time. Right. And then sometimes you could also cross train to equivalent to, if you can't walk that day, do an equivalent, whatever that would be. Because there's a list of different things, like 20 minutes of swimming would equal half an hour of walking.
Okay.
So, but there's a whole list of things. So, but mainly it's doing some activity 5 days a week for half an hour every week.
And that's just a challenge you do. You don't have to do that with other people.
It's not even a challenge. It's just to be healthy, and then also to help others to do that. So I'm already in a situation where I'm already kind of doing that anyway.
Right.
So I'm more trying to help others that are just getting their foot off the ground to help them.
And that's called Girl Trek?
Right.
TREK?
Right. So it's actually an organization to help Black women to do that, because a lot of Black women are not active, and so they're having other health issues because of that. So this is supposed to help them get active so they can be removed from some of these health issues that happen in a particular race. Yeah. But it's actually for any woman, because a lot of women, regardless of race, need to be doing that too.
Well, that's true.
A U.S.
Exactly. Sure.
But
right.
But that's the advantage of some of these groups, that when they do that, they just help motivate people. It doesn't really matter who you are. We all need some motivation sometimes.
Well, and I just think, being part of a community makes a difference. That, and that's partly why Jill and I decided to get going with the Becoming Ellie community, because we just need some camaraderie. I don't know. It's just so much more fun when you do things together.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That.
Even if it's virtually together.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whole accountability.
Oh, well, that's great. Yeah. So did you accomplish your goals for 2018?
2018.
That's this year. Did you accomplish your goals for this year?
Well, I really didn't have any goals like last year with that 1,500 miles or whatever I did.
That was a lot of miles.
Yeah, this year was easy peasy relaxing, other than the baton. So finishing that up, but that was early in the year. So I was like, So my goal is just to maintain and, just get the bucket list race out the way. And then Girl Trek came later, but that didn't happen until August. So yeah.
Okay.
A whole lot less miles than 500, 1,500 last year. I'm only up to 800 right now. So for the year, and miles wise, yeah.
Do you track your
800 is still nice?
Yeah, do you track your miles with would you wear a Fitbit?
Yeah, a Garmin watch.
A Garmin, okay.
Yeah.
Do you like the Garmin?
Mm-hmm.
This is off topic. Do you like the Garmin?
Yes, I love the Garmin. Exactly. Because I like to plot. I like to see the map of where I went. My girlfriend and I are obsessed about marking the street.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Garmin has a really good GPS, and the Fitbit, I have not been real satisfied with any kind of, marking the neighborhood or the GPS part. Is just not as good on the Fitbit. It's better for other things though. So
okay.
So what about next year? Are you, what's coming up for you? You mentioned Seattle.
Right. I'm doing the Rock and Roll Seattle in June. And then the week before, I'm just volunteering for the Niagara Falls Women's Only Half Marathon, because I did that twice already. But I'm going with my girlfriends.
When is that?
The Niagara Falls Women's Only Half Marathon. So you walk or run past the falls twice.
Oh, nice.
So it's really cool, and it's women only, and it's headed off by, I'm having a brain freeze on her name, the one that broke the Boston Marathon, that woman, what is her name? Kathleen.
Oh.
I can't think of her last name right now. Yes.
Kathleen Schweitzer.
She's the one that does that one. So it's so cool to get to see her Boston Marathon. Right.
She was the first woman to run.
The first official Boston Marathon. 'Cause there were women before that, but they were not in there illegally. They were just running in it. She actually had a number, everything, so they didn't know until she was in there that she was in there. So,
right.
Yeah, her. So she's the one that does that. So she does that race every year. And it's really cool just having all women only, even though there's guys that do it. Just like in other races, women are in those too. That men do it, and they probably have a personal connection, like their wife is doing it or something, and they might be in it for whatever reason. But it's very few of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so you're gonna work. You're gonna be a support person on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a volunteer. I'm actually handing out the medals at the end.
Oh, very good.
So I put my bid in right away. I want to hand out the medals because I did this 2 times already. I don't need to do the race again.
I haven't decided what I'm going to do next year, but I may look at that one. That sounds fun.
It's really fun because the swag is really cool. You get a bottle of wine and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
They got a lot of stuff in that swag bag. So a lot.
So you go into Canada on that one, right? Is that the one that it's like on the border?
Well, it's actually in Canada, so you have to have your passport just to get in the country.
It's in Canada. Okay, so it's an international race.
So that would be a bucket list. Run in another country.
Exactly. Check off Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Ontario anyway.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
right.
We'll have to check that out. That does sound kind of fun.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. It is. So it's all women, and the porta potties are pink.
Oh,
they got flowers in them. That's totally different.
That's funny.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, so any other goals for 2019?
No, not at this moment. Not at this moment as far as a goal or anything. No.
All right.
Because after that 1500, it's kind of hard to beat that one.
Right. So you have to sort of think about, you have to think about it a little differently, I guess, though.
Yeah, definitely. Like specific race, that kind of thing.
So the only race you have on your calendar so far is the Seattle one.
Right. Yeah. Hoping a marathon will come in here, but I don't have one in mind yet.
Okay.
Because I want to still continue to do a marathon once a year, but I'm at a point now where I want to do a marathon with someone to help somebody to do a marathon. So right now I don't know when it's going to happen. So
okay.
So you want to motivate someone or help them get going.
Right. To do that marathon.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've done 6. So I need somebody to help me do number 7. Say, okay, who out there needs help?
Right. Well, I bet you can find someone.
Yeah, we'll put that out to the universe. Anyone interested, Juel's here to help.
Right, exactly. You said that might be a way to do that. Who wants to go next year somewhere, 2019?
Well, that's how you got 7 women to go to Las Vegas with you, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Because I told them I wanted to do it this year, and they were like, "Oh, we're coming too." So it took a whole year for us to get there. So here we are. So
yeah. And when is Seattle? When's Seattle?
June, the week after that Niagara Falls one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you got a lot going on in June. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Good for you.
Well, that's a nice time to have a race, though, too, because it gives you time to train for it.
Right. With some
decent weather.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right.
Well, that's great. Well, Juel, as usual, you are an inspiration. I love speaking with you.
I know.
Really, you always get me thinking and wanting to do more. It's great. It's great.
Well, you guys was an inspiration doing this posting and all that kind of stuff. And like all these topics, like, wow, how do you come up with the ideals? I'm like, I think I got another one. How do you do that?
Well,
everyone else gives us too.
So like, wow, that's some good stuff.
Well, good.
Good.
I'm glad that you're liking it.
Thank you.
Because it's going to be so that's actually, we didn't even talk about that. That's why we wanted to talk with you, because this is going to be this episode is our end of year of our first year of podcasting. So we thought it was a good time to go back and talk with some of you who we had talked with earlier and just catch up and see how the year ended up being.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah, so we started January of 2018. So this is our,
really?
Yeah. So we're wrapping up the year.
I'm thinking you had been doing this for a while.
No.
Yeah. So
no, not the podcast.
Okay.
We were blogging before we started the podcast, but podcast started in January.
Gotcha.
Took us a little while to get the microphones and figure out how to click record.
Yeah.
This technology, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I'm just glad you included me in on that.
All
So
right.
that was exciting. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much for talking with us, and maybe we'll check in again with you next year. Maybe
Okay.
I'll see you in
Yeah.
Niagara, because that is actually very appealing. That would be pretty cool if you could give me my medal.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Okay, right.
We'll look forward to that.
Well, thanks so much, Juel. It's a pleasure speaking with you, as usual.
Same here.
All right. Thanks.
All righty then. Cool. Thanks.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that was a inspirational talk. I liked hearing from both of them. Wow, they have me feeling very motivated for 2019.
Yeah, I think you're ready to sign up for some races.
I think so, yes.
That's great. Well, we really had a lot going on in 2018. Speaking of races, yeah, I started it out with a 5K in April with the Raccoon Run.
I did the Hop for Hope in April, and it was so cold that there was snow on the ground, and I was all bundled up. I remember thinking, am I crazy for doing this?
Right, because it was chilly in April.
It was very cold. That was a very cold 5K.
I used the Raccoon Run as a training run for the Cleveland Marathon, and you and I did that together in May.
And that was a lot of fun. We both really enjoyed that race.
The half marathon.
The half marathon. Yes, we didn't do the full, the half.
That was still plenty. But
yes.
then I think you got involved in the spring with something at your gym.
Well, I did the Ultimate Fitness Challenge too in the spring, and that was challenging. And
yeah.
I won my age group. There are not a lot of women over 50 in the Ultimate Fitness Challenge.
In early June, I rode my bike and ran in the duathlon, which was pretty cool.
Yes.
That was something very fun. Actually, I think you bike run.
Right. The duathlon was you ran 2 miles and then you bicycled something like 12 miles and then ran another 2 miles.
Right. And it sounds pretty interesting, but the funny thing is when you get off the bike and you try to run, your legs feel all funny.
Right. That's what everyone seems to be the standard thing that people say. So I have not done that. So I guess maybe I need to think about it.
Yeah.
Then I also did... Well, you and I both did the firecracker race.
Right, 4th of July.
4th of July.
It's a great way to celebrate 4th of July with a race.
Yes, it was. And I went on vacation in June to the beach.
Wait, you skipped something. Didn't you win your age group at that firecracker run? I think you did. I remember a trophy.
Did I get a trophy?
You got a trophy.
For that? Really?
Well, maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought I had a picture of you getting a trophy. I'll have to go back and look. We'll edit this out if it's not.
Note, Chris was right. I did indeed win our age group. It's been a busy year.
When you were on vacation.
Oh, on vacation, I ran a 5K there, and it was so hot.
Yeah.
It was too hot. I ran too fast. And that was not really a good time. I won't forget it.
Right. Well, we did have a super hot summer. I did that bike ride in August, and it was super hot, especially getting in the
100-mile bike ride?
Right, 150. 75 one day, 75 another day.
Okay, so that's certainly not insignificant.
And then we were training for the Akron Marathon.
Right.
So we did the Akron Half Marathon. Right. And it's just that was the end of September. So It's been a really busy 2018.
It was.
I don't think it should go unnoticed that we did an awful lot of stuff exciting things with Becoming Ellie with the community. The Facebook group.
We have the Facebook page, but there's also a Facebook groups which women join, and we can talk about our efforts to be fit and strong.
Right. It's a closed group, so it's not open to the public. And we do screen everyone that comes in. So
if you don't belong, please feel free to join us.
Yeah, consider that, because we try to inspire each other. Along with all these podcast episodes, we did in 2018...
We did 24 episodes. This is episode 24.
Right.
Which is pretty exciting.
Yep, 2 a month. So we've done pretty well. And 130 articles on the website. Different articles about food, healthy living, fitness, mental toughness, resilience.
Some reviews of things.
Yeah.
Some recipes.
Yeah, a whole variety of articles to help provide information and inspiration. Well, we've been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
You know, for me, this has really made a difference in me maintaining my weight loss. And one thing that you and I collaborated on and put out was a book. It's an ebook that you can download, and we have a link on the website. It's called Fitness Food.
And that was a lot of fun to do. And
lots of recipes.
There's lots of recipes in it. We also have the list of mantras that we created, and people can download that.
Yeah. And that's a free download. So
yes.
Please go to the website, check out the things. If you've only listened to the podcast, you'll be amazed how much additional information there is for the Becoming Ellie community. And it's all available at Becoming Ellie, that's ELLI.com.
Well, it's been a great 2018. We've done a lot, both becoming fit and strong physically and fit and strong podcast and website wise.
Yeah, a lot of technology.
So, and I'm looking forward to 2019. I think we have a lot to build on.
Yes, it's exciting. Well, looking forward to talking and hearing from all of you. Just a reminder, give us a call. Tell us what you did in 2018 and what your plans are for 2019 for becoming fit and strong.
And we'll share those messages if you call in. We'll share those messages on the podcast in future episodes.
Yeah, in 2019.
Yes. And you can find a link to the voicemail number on the website.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jill.
And this is the Becoming Ellie Community Podcast for fit, strong women over 50.
See you next time.